delighted to provide a recommendation and support for Mr. Chad Schulz from Beauregard Parish, who is a finalist for Principal of the Year. As the Chief Technology Officer in Calcasieu Parish, I am well acquainted with Chad and his innovative, collaborative leadership style. We have worked with him for years as we sought to raise the level of technology integration and proficiency in schools across our region, and Chad has been a real leader. He has participated willingly and effectively in the new ISTE certification standard for educators, and he will be the first principal certified in the state of Louisiana for this very rigorous technology standard. He is a collaborator. He has collaborated with our department and schools here in Calcasieu Parish and been a leader in the area of technology and curriculum development. He is a superb leader. He is a fine young man, and he is well positioned to be Principal of the Year for the state of Louisiana.
As I think about Chad Schulz, he is truly living the life of touching lives. He served as a teacher at Pinewood Elementary, where he was probably one of the most requested teachers by parents and students, simply because he allowed students to think outside the box and to learn. He found connections with them, and he provided a learning opportunity for students. He then served as assistant principal at Maryville High School for 2 years. Did a great job. While there, he was a supporter, he was a disciplinarian, he was a builder, and most of all, he was a provider. He provided students the opportunity to make use of the mistakes that they made and to grow from it, and to allow them to think all decisions are made, but as decisions are made, a path is created, and we just want that to be a positive path. He served 1 year as acting principal of Maryville High School, a pre-K through 12 school. While there, did a great job of working with students, but also it allowed him to see the overall pre-K through 12 setting. From there, he chose to make a move to South Beauregard Elementary. At South Beauregard Elementary, he was an assistant principal for 3 years and became principal 2 years ago. We appreciate what Chad Schulz stands for. As a principal, he creates an environment for the students. Through that environment, it is a learning environment. They can learn by application. They can see what is going on in the overall atmosphere. He involves parents in the day-to-day approach of student learning. He involves them in all areas of his school. Faculty and staff, they appreciate him because he has a willingness to help students and help all students achieve success. Everything that he stands for truly promotes living the life of touching lives. He also has an open door policy. He allows students, parents, teachers to consult with him at all times because it is about the overall campus. It is all about the community. It is about helping students succeed. He shares with his fellow leaders in introducing new ideas. The collaboration that he provides helps foster student success as well as create a culture of respect with those who he works with. Truly today, I would say Mr. Schulz is living the life of touching lives at South Beauregard Elementary and in Beauregard Parish.
Good morning, Chad and committee. Congratulations. Chad is very easy for us to brag on here in Beauregard Parish, and especially for me to brag on being a former principal. He is what I would have liked to have been. His innovation and his ability to come through and step up to the plate when we need somebody is unbelievable. I mean, he is always there, and what he does with his faculty is probably the most impressive thing. There at South Beauregard Elementary, you can tell that it is a team, and you can tell that there's innovation there, and that they don't mind sharing that innovation district-wide and even throughout the whole state. So really appreciate what Chad does.
Hi, I'm the proud mother of two that attend SB Elementary here. My son Everett just completed his final year here And I wanted to talk a little bit about him. He has struggled with anxiety his whole life, and coming to this school, I wanted to say that Chad has been so amazing in helping us with dealing with some of his issues. He's come out of his shell so much because of Chad. The open door policy, I could message him anytime I have a question, a concern, a problem. I will get a message back, sometimes even a phone call. One example of what Chad has gone to do this year for us was, I have drove my kids to school for the past 4 years. Here, back, I drive them. So riding the bus may seem something, no big deal to everybody else, but it's really a big deal in our house because it was not gonna happen with Everett. My middle child, Lacey, was all for it. So we decided to let them try to start riding the bus home. After much convincing with Everett, he decided to give it a try. So what do I do as a mom? I panic, but I don't let him know. I call Chad. I get every information that I can possibly get about the bus. Who's his bus driver? Where does it go? Who's on it? Is it gonna be safe? I need to know these things as a mom because you wanna protect your child. Not only did Chad just go over and above just to tell me all these things, but the day that it came, whenever Everett rode the bus home, Chad walked him to where he was supposed to be, waited for him to get on that bus, and then sent me a little picture, just let me know that he was headed my way home. As a parent, this is just huge to me because it just eased my mind and made me feel so much better about the situation, knowing that my child was 100% in Chad's care, and I felt safe, and he felt safe, and it was just a big thing for Everett. So I appreciate those things that may just be little things for everybody else, but it's really huge for our family. And the fact that Chad had always gone over and above to make Everett come out of his shell and feel special and feel that he's going to be okay, I just appreciate from the bottom of my heart. For another example, we just had our first grade awards, and that was for Lacey, my middle child. And there was a young mother there who had a young baby and a toddler, and she was struggling with one of her babies. Just the poor thing just kept crying and crying and crying, and she tried everything just to calm him down. Chad literally walked over, picked that child up, and continued on with this job, announcing kids on the stage, bringing the kids where they needed to be. That just, to me, speaks volumes of his character and who he is as a person. Because not only is he our principal, but he is a parent too, and he understands what it's like to be juggling kids, struggling, happy times, anything. So we appreciate that about Chad, the fact that it's not just a job for him. He puts his whole heart into this.
I'm a parent of a child that attends South Beauregard Elementary, and his name is Joseph, and he is ADHD, and we do sometimes have a lot of problems with him, but Mr. Schulz knows how to handle it, perfectly. He's like the school dad. Joseph has a daddy. His daddy passed away a couple years ago, so anytime Joseph has some bad episodes, Mr. Schulz is quick to rush in there, get him, make sure that he can get him out of that state of mind, get him back to being calm, and he has lunch with him a couple times a month just to make sure everything's still okay. Joseph feels okay at school, and he's only in kindergarten. And he backs me up a lot. And he's just a very wonderful principal, and we wouldn't have it any other way. For my son not having a daddy, he's, like I said, he is a school dad. And I can personally text him, and I know when we wake up in the morning, if Joseph's having a bad day, I text him and say, hey, our morning didn't start out too great, and he already knows. He's already getting them, meeting them at the at the gate whenever he gets off the bus, or if he's car rider. So he's already waiting for him to make sure he finishes out his day as a good day, and he comes home and he gets all greens on his smiley face. So it went from a really bad morning to a really good day, all because of our staff and one principal, Mr. Schulz. And like I said, he's an amazing man, and we are very beyond blessed to have him as our principal.
Tell me your favorite memory of Mr. Schulz.
When I got to eat lunch with him because he brought up the reward system. When I got a full chart, I got to eat lunch with him.
That was pretty cool, huh?
Either that or get a basketball or something like that. If he wasn't available.
When you filled up your chart?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that was pretty cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me something else.
My hero will always be Mr. Schulz.